everybody. I want to say thank you for all supporting the channel. Thank you for all the likes you've been giving me on some of my most recent posts. But today, here's another interview special I have for you. I have a young lady here that has been doing her thing. And I'm going to say doing her thing because she's going to tell you a lot more about herself and what she's doing. But she's an up and coming actress. And from the small circle of actors and producers that I know, they said she will be a great interview. So you got to get her. So I messaged her. She responded back, very professional. And here she is. So the next voice you're going to hear will be from my guest today.
Hi, my name is Sabine Goose. I'm an actor and voiceover talent in Atlanta. And thank you for having me on, Reynard.
All right. Shout out to the ATL. Shout out to all the people who are doing film work and all the ladies that are doing film work. Y'all run Atlanta. Ladies run Atlanta. They got a lot going on in the film community, in the acting community. And she also said voiceover. So I'm definitely going to
Mhm.
ask her a question about that.
Yeah.
So my first question for you today is tell us about the last film project you were actually on.
Oh, the last one? Huh. Oh, what was the last one?
It's
You
been
know
so
what?
many.
There's literally so many, and then like they don't come out in order, so you forget.
Okay.
Well, so I'll tell you about the last one that came out at least,
Okay.
because it's the top of my head. But I was involved in a movie called Carlot that recently
Okay.
premiered. We actually filmed that one like 3 years ago, and it just now premiered because I mean that's how crazy it gets. Like you can do things forever ago, and then finally one day they're like, oh yeah, it premieres next week, and you're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
So that one was really fun. It had some pretty heavy hitters with like Shaquille O'Neal was in it,
Mm,
DC Young Fly,
okay.
and yeah, so that was the most recent project. It came out great. It was hilarious. I don't know where it's streaming yet, so I can't tell you guys where to watch it, but
Okay.
if it might end up on Tubi or Netflix, and it's
Mm,
a great watch. It was hilarious.
okay. Perfect. Perfect. So I'm gonna get into a second film of yours, from a young lady, film director, friend of mine. She put you in a short film that's actually in the film festival circuit. Can you tell us a little bit about that when you did with Mac?
Yeah. Maclean brought me onto her project, The Last Phone Call, and it was actually a really sentimental project to her. It was based on like the interactions she had with her mother and in her last months
Mm,
on this earth. God bless her soul. And she had me on to tell this story of like, like the emotional turmoil you go through with losing a parent and especially losing them slowly and especially to something like dementia or Alzheimer's, where they lose their memory as it's happening, which is extremely difficult to deal with, I'm sure. She felt like I'd be great for the project. I really wanted to bring her emotion through and the emotions that she went through during that time, and
mm.
it was very heavy filming it, but I think it turned out great, and the script was great, and I was just very thankful to be a part of it.
Wow. Okay. So I knew when I first saw the trailer that was a emotional type film because I knew what that was. I
Hmm.
actually wrote a short film myself at my mother's bedside before she passed. So
Oh,
I
okay.
know about that. I haven't released it yet, but that's something I definitely understand. So speaking of that, how do you get into character like for something like that?
For something like that, since I don't have anything to pull from, I've been very fortunate in life that I haven't lost many people.
Okay.
So when I don't have anything personally to pull from, it really helps to have the person around that went through it. Like I was feeding off Maclean's like emotion and feeling as we were filming it. She was very emotional.
Hmm.
It's like that what do they call it, empath. So
Hmm.
that empathic connection, um I was really able to feel it, probably exactly how she felt at the time.
Mhm.
And I just soaked that all up and portrayed it through my character to the best of my ability. And I think she was really happy with it in the end. And I think it came through on screen.
Wow, wow. Okay. Well, speaking of getting in the character, this is based off characters. Was there a certain actor, actress, or whatever that inspired you to do what you do?
You know what? I really used to love watching like Halle Berry
Mm,
when I was younger, and there was not ever one just like one actress. I just knew I wanted to be an actress. Like I'd watch TV and I'd be like, "Mommy, I want to be on TV." When I used to play Sims when I was younger, I'd always choose the career path as extra, and then if you go through the levels, eventually become C-list,
right.
B-list, A-list actress. So I just always knew I wanted to do that. I wanted to be on film. I'm so dramatic. I'm so dramatic. I'm the dramatic person in my friends group and in my family. I'm quirky. Um, they used to be like you're like just the weird one, but now they
Mhm.
see like it was for a reason. I'm just built like this. So
Okay.
from birth.
Oh, so natural actress, actor. So you would say, so you didn't go to like, school for this, right? This is something that you kind of took on, or am I wrong?
In high school, I dipped into theater because that's the first time it was ever available to me. So I come from my family is from Haiti, right? So they they were
Okay.
not gonna pay for me to go to theater or film school or anything like or do anything extra like that on the side. It just wasn't they just weren't gonna do it. They're not you have to be a nurse or a doctor or
Yeah.
or a lawyer basically in my culture. So they just weren't gonna do it. So the first time I had the opportunity to really do anything like that was in high school. They had a theater program and that's the first time I tried it and I was like, oh yeah, this is for me. But I already knew I loved performing because in elementary through middle I was in chorus, honor chorus, stuff like that. So naturally just kept trying things that were performance wise. I did dance as well. Wasn't as
Okay.
great at that, but still I was on stage, so I liked it. And yeah, that's pretty much how I got started. And then when I turned 18 and I could do things myself, I went to school for theater down in Savannah at Armstrong. That well, initially I was pre-med, and then once I could
Okay.
change it without getting caught changing it, I changed it to theater.
Okay.
Um, then I realized I didn't need a degree to do this, and I just kind of came back to Atlanta, and it was popping at that time. Like everything had just started picking up. There was agents now. There was auditions and stuff that there never was before,
Okay.
at least to my knowledge. So, I just dove in. I got an agent, and the rest is history. 10 years later, still doing it.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Speaking of Atlanta, tell us about the culture of film work and acting in Atlanta. Is there a lot of competition? And if so, tell us how you're able to navigate into different roles in Atlanta.
There is a lot of competition. Everybody wants to be an actor out here. Assume it's kind of like LA where everyone's an actor, everyone's doing something
Hmm.
within the industry. Um, at least if you live in the city or near the perimeter, right? So there is a lot of competition, but I mean, that's okay. Like whatever, like it's gonna be for who it's gonna be for. As far as like integrating into roles, I just do my best to audition to the best of my ability, and I really keep that at the forefront. What's for you is going to be for you, and what's not for you is not going to be for you. And you got you still got to live your regular life,
Right.
and just vibe. And if it works out, works out. If it doesn't, it's still a fun ride, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. I'm gonna get into something here. I've been wanting to ask you. So as soon as I saw your Instagram,
Mhm.
and you had a picture, and it was about photography in a kind of a grungy looking bathroom. So is that
Oh.
something that you have to kind of get into character too to take a picture in kind of a unique way? I just this is for my photography people, kind of like myself.
Hmm.
How do you get into that mode to say, I'm going to take a picture here and make it sparkle and make people like it?
Okay, that was like that was a fun night. And I don't
Okay.
know, it was just the vibe of the night. Like, I think the caption was, I think I know exactly which one you're talking about. It was like, if it didn't happen in like a grungy bathroom, did it even happen? Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that was like literally just the theme of the night. Things don't have to be perfect, right? I don't,
Mhm.
I guess I've like moved past that perfect aesthetic when it comes to like taking pictures and videos and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I really do like doing content creation. So I like to just take authentic, like in the moment feeling type things. And that picture was like in the moment. That was authentic. That's what the night felt like, and it came out great. That was like that picture literally captured the vibe. Um, without doing much. You don't have to all the glam, all the lighting, all that. It isn't necessary to capture the essence of what you're trying to capture.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Well, you kind of gave me another question when you talk about content creation,
Mhm.
but I want to ask you this: with your content creation, you had a video on there was about I can't remember exactly, but it looks like one of those kind of reels that you will make. It's kind of a fun reel, but it's also kind of like an audition piece, like a monologue style piece. But I want to know, from like when you're creating content to promote yourself, what are you trying to give out to your audience that's interested in you and your acting? So please tell us about that.
I'm trying to give like a piece of my personality, honestly, like a piece of
Okay.
my essence. So, I think the clip you're referring to is one from Clueless. I did a monologue from
Yes.
Clueless. And that character, I think her name's Cher. I might be mistaken. My bad if I am, you guys.
Yes.
Baby brain, uh, but her essence is me, and really chose her because I felt like I could portray her well within a small clip
Okay.
online to really show this. I can come across as this very easily. It was a fun. It was a fun clip. I like to do fun things. I like a more relaxed monologue personally. Um,
Okay.
and so that's what I was thinking when I put it out.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Next thing you mentioned, you said you did voiceover work.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I know a couple people in my community that are trying to get into voiceover. So please tell us about voiceover, what kind of work you've done, kind of explain that process.
Yeah. So for voiceover, I've been doing voiceover, I'd say probably for like 6 or 7 years now. Um, I've done a bunch of stuff like commercial wise. I'm from Victoria's Secret's Pink to Uber to Lyft to stuff for high schools to
Okay.
like list goes on and on and on. Voiceover, I kind of fell into that, right? I kind of fell into it because I really, really, at the time, hated my job and I was
Okay.
over it. I was like, I need to make money elsewhere, but good money, because it was a good job that I had. And I was telling my acting coach at the time, and she mentioned to the whole class that she did voiceover and she had gotten into
Mm.
it, and it was, if you can excel at it, it's pretty good money. So that's just the truth of why I started doing it. I started going to classes, and I got a reel done, and turns out I was pretty good. I was just what they're looking for, and I was pretty good at it. And I've been doing it ever since, off and on. Like, voiceover is one of those things where like you have to have the setup. And so, like, if you move to a place you don't have the setup, then you can't really do it. But then you move back
Mm.
to a place where you have a better setup, you can do it. And just make great extra money. Sometimes I dip in and voiceover is it's lit. That's where it's at, okay? If you can
Okay.
really get into it. But it's not something you can just I'm gonna put this mic right here and just record myself
Okay.
and audition on these platforms and think you're gonna book. It's not like that. You have to put a lot of work and effort into the training beforehand. I trained for 3 months beforehand. I had an
Mm.
agent about a month and a half into my training. I had gotten picked up by an agency, but you don't need an agency to do well in voiceover. You really
Okay.
don't. Most of my money and most of my bookings have been through like the pay to play sites. If you're on a good one, and most of my bigger clients have come through there too. So I do encourage anybody who thinks they might be good at it to d- to look into it. Definitely look into it. But like if you're going to look into it, and if someone tells if not someone tells you, but if like the coaches at the school that you're at are like telling you, you're not what they're really looking for at the time, I would skip it, because it is a lot of time, energy, and money put in at first with no, for most people, with no what's the word I'm thinking of? Help me. um
Oh,
with no like with no
I'm thinking.
payback at first.
Yeah, I'm thinking too. Why is you thinking?
I'm
I'm
like, what
like,
is the word? But if you stick with it, and if you are what they're looking for, it's a great side hustle and a great career field, even if you can put in that much time into it.
okay,
Highly recommend.
perfect, perfect. Okay, so here's something I usually do. I ask my interview people this question here. I'm gonna put a little twist to it. So I just imagine you're in a smoothie shop or whatever, right?
Mhm.
And a young lady, probably about 18 years old, comes up to you and says, "Hey, miss, I see you in something, and I see you online, and I follow you. I want to do what you do. So, how do you start a young lady that young into getting into acting?"
I'm actually very detailed when people ask me, because I know when I was starting to get into it, I was so annoyed with these very like once again, don't know the word. These answers that didn't tell me nothing. Okay,
Okay,
these answers, fluff answers that didn't really tell
okay,
me anything, did not help me get into it. Right.
okay,
So I'm actually very specific. I go ahead and tell people which school to start at, which
mm,
schools to avoid, which coaches to avoid, which, because this is all essential information. You can save yourself years if you're
okay,
not going through the riffraff, if that makes sense. So I always tell people most of the time to start at Drama Inc. I love Drama Inc. I love that school so much. Um, I always
okay,
tell people to start there, if you can, in Atlanta. And if you're not, actually, pretty sure they still do virtual classes. It's been a while since I took a class there, but I'm pretty sure they still do virtual classes. So even if you're not in Atlanta, I also tell them you need to be planning to move here.
mm,
Actually be here. Yeah, you can travel and stuff like that, but I'm telling you, from someone who's like lived out of state the last couple years, because life has happened, it is much
mm,
easier to do what you're doing when you're actually where you're supposed to be at. And that's
mm.
just the truth of it. That's just the
That,
truth of it.
that right there
Because
preaches. I like that.
it's true, and it's the truth, because what they don't tell you is so much of this industry and the success in this industry is networking and who you know. Like I dare say 85% of it. I'm telling the truth. That's truthfully how I feel. The rest is
Wow.
training. Huh?
I said, wow. I was like, that number
No,
you put out there. Okay.
I dare say 85% of it. And this is 10 years in. The rest is training. So it's a combination of being ready with your training, being the right person at the right time,
Okay.
and I'd say personality as well. Um, so it's all three of those things to align perfectly. That's mostly what it is. So you have to stay ready,
Okay.
and hopefully you just meet the right person at the right time. And that's truthfully what it is. So if you're not here, that makes it harder, doesn't it?
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. I never really thought about it like that. I know people who travel back and forth. I know people they're on, grassroots in Atlanta or in LA. And I can
Mhm.
see how when somebody calls you say, "Hey, I want you to be in this movie and you got to be here tomorrow at 8 o'clock." It's kind of hard to do that from Denver, Colorado to fly
Right.
in there. But if you're right there in Atlanta or in the metro Atlanta or you're in LA or certain places, I can see the benefit of that.
Exactly. Like, because who I'll leave it at that. Exactly. A flight last minute. The pricing is it's not pricing, okay? I'm telling you.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's time for the fun part of the interview. So I usually do a couple things here, and I just want you just to be relaxed.
Okay.
This is the fun part, and just get prepared for what I'm getting ready to ask you. Okay?
Okay.
All right. I want you to build your favorite actor. It can be male or it can be female. So we're going to start with, I got a couple things here I wrote down, but I want to start with acting skills. Who has the chops that you love? And if you had to build an actor, who would that be? Using their that trait,
Just acting skills. Mm.
male or female. It can be a little kid. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go with and I don't know if it might be the wrong name. I'm telling you, my baby brain is insane.
Okay.
But believe his name is Christopher Hawkins. Maybe Google help
Okay.
me. Um,
What movie? What movie?
he's
That name
in
sounds.
the most recent thing I saw him in was oh my gosh, HBO. It was a show about like AI and robots, and it was on HBO.
Oh,
You know what I'm
yes.
talking about? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like
I
memory
think it's
is
Christopher Hawkins. I thought it was name was a little different, but I know what you're talking about. I'm
so his
familiar.
name's something like that.
So for his acting skills, you just feel like
A1.
that A1. Okay.
A1.
A1.
May we
Okay.
all strive to be like him.
All right. Second person. A second trait will be the person with the. I'm gonna go with. Let's go the body. Male for who has the best body figure. You had to build that person.
All right, I'm gonna go female on this,
Yes.
and I'm gonna say that would be Zendaya.
She okay. She has came to my life watching Nickel. I was watching something with my nephew.
Hmm.
He was like Zendaya, Zendaya, Zendaya. And I think this was a little older. 'Cause I think she's a little older now. And
Yeah,
I was like, who is this Zendaya? So I start looking up stuff, and I can see her in bigger projects, and her name is like buzzing. And I'm like, okay, mate, I see what people are talking about.
yeah, she's
Wow.
beautiful. I would definitely say if we're doing body type, I have a particular. I think it would be her.
Okay. Okay. Next one would be personality.
Kiki Palmer. That is a funny woman.
Oh man.
She can do no wrong. She says nothing wrong. She like it's like she does. She can't mess up. It's like it's just always funny. It always hits. It always hits every single time. Hilarious.
We went Kiki Palmer.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But she's not really a comedian, but she has the personality. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, she
Okay.
definitely could be a comedian if she wanted to, but where's the money in that? I'd I'd stay where I was at too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. My last one's gonna be kind of a two-part because it has to do with the face. And the reason why I say this, I'm gonna say this here because a lot of people are here and here. I'm going eyes and smile. So who has the best smile and who has the best eyes? I'm gonna put both of them together. Or you could separate. You could separate it. Go who has the best, the eyes. The windows to the soul.
Yeah, I've never really thought about it. Now that you say it.
Oh, well, you know what? You can combine it. You can say looks.
The looks,
The
okay,
look.
male or female, like what conveys probably the most emotion. What's her name? And I'm Googling it this time.
Okay.
Hold on. First of all, it was Anthony Hopkins. I find way off.
Oh,
For
oh, talking about with the yeah, the acting chops. Okay,
yeah, Anthony Hopkins, way off, but
Anthony
that's what I
Hopkins.
meant.
Okay,
And um, what's that show was filmed in? Gosh, the brain is killing me. The show was filmed in Atlanta. It was about like the drugs and the cartel uh
the drugs and the cartel.
and it
Was
was
that
filmed in Atlanta
was that that wasn't
recently.
BMF? That wasn't
Huh?
BMF, was it?
No, no, no. It had a mostly Caucasian cast actually. Um it was on Netflix. Gosh, I'm sorry. So but her the female lead in that. Mm. Okay, the guy from Arrested Development. What's his name?
Arrested Development.
It's okay. I'm gonna use the process of deduction. I shall figure this out.
Okay.
Arrested Development cast. Because her eyes are like everything.
Okay.
Um,
Hmm.
oh, she paid that. I can't think of it. We'll be here forever.
Well, we'll come.
um,
Okay, it's no
let's
problem.
wrap back around. I'll figure it out.
Okay. Okay. All right. So part two here is I'm gonna ask you. I want to know your favorite between one or the other. Okay.
Hmm.
I'm gonna start with Sandra Bullock or um Angela Bassett. I think you're gonna kill me on these. Okay.
Who's my favorite?
Yeah. You got to pick one or the other.
All right, don't take my black card, but it's Sandra Bullock.
No, I'm not taking. Okay. Wow. Okay. Zendaya or Margot Robbie.
Ooh, are we talking about acting ability wise?
Just you got to pick one or the other. If you putting the film together, your favorite person you want to put in
Margot
there.
Robbie.
You just gave Zendaya a whole lot of props, and you went Margot Robbie. Okay, I
But
like
it
that.
is what it is. If we're gonna compare, if I'm doing a film, what's most important is acting chops.
Yeah.
Zendaya is a great actor, but she is not Margot Robbie.
Okay.
I said what I said.
I like that. All right. Gonna get a little harder here.
And I might say yet because Margot Robbie has years on her. So she definitely
Zendaya
has the
does too,
ability.
right?
Margot
Zen-
Robbie is like way older than Zendaya.
oh, she is. Oh, I thought
Yeah,
she
so
was
she has
younger.
years on her. So it could even out in the end.
Hmm. Okay. Next one we're gonna go. Look, like I said, a little bit harder. Michael B. Jordan or Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, be for real.
Ooh, ooh, without hesitation.
Be for
Okay.
real.
Okay. Okay. Next one, even harder. Denzel Washington or Samuel L. Jackson?
Samuel L. Jackson.
All right, explain.
I told you I like funny stuff. I just
Yeah.
prefer more lighthearted individual. And
Okay.
Denzel is obviously they're both very talented, like ridiculously. Like I'm not really comparing there. I'm more like what would I rather be around on set, and what kind of character would I probably write for
Okay.
if I was ever doing that. And it would be Samuel L. Jackson. He was in Pulp Fiction. I remember. I think that's the first time I remember seeing him on screen, like as being younger. Hilarious. The man is being serious, but he's so funny. Like,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
I like that. He can play both, actually. I actually think
Oh yeah.
he is a little more versatile. I haven't really seen Denzel play any funny roles, not for real.
Hmm.
And well, I've seen Samuel done both. So he's, yeah.
Exactly. So versatility. That's what every director wants, right?
Okay. I like that.
Now let's pause. The eyes and the mouth.
Yep.
I choose Laura Linney. That's her name. She's from Ozark.
I know
She
exactly.
plays
Yep.
the
Hmm.
Wendy, I believe. Wendy, yeah. And I don't know. I've just from watching her on Ozark, like all her scenes, like the eyes, bro, the eyes.
Okay.
They just really pull you in. Love her.
All right.
Can't remember her name, but love her.
Okay. All right. My last comparison here is Cat Williams or Kevin Hart.
Cat Williams. Duh. Be for real. Some of these questions like be for real.
Be for real. I'm
Be
real.
for real. Be for
I'm
real. Cat
I'm for
Williams.
real. I don't know. Sometimes people. Hey, I've had people that be like, I can't answer that. I got to take a pass because they love them both. But you're putting this together. It's no disrespect to the other person.
Oh
I'm
no.
like, hey,
No.
no,
No disrespect to the other person, but
yeah,
people like what they like. I think Cat
okay,
Williams is hilarious, and I appreciate his authenticity. I appreciate authenticity in performers.
okay, absolutely, absolutely. Well, I'm gonna get into a couple more things here with you, and I want to ask you this question, and this is one that always trips people up. Who is the most overrated actor?
Overrated. See, now I might work with them down the line, and I don't want any problem.
All right, here's me, and I'm gonna tell you mine, and I don't know why I can't think. Now I got a name here. I actually think Tracy Ellis Ross is overrated. I'm gonna tell you the reason why.
Why?
Because I don't think I can make her a lead. People talk about her in Rebel. Just think she's great, and I'm not saying she's not a good actress. She's just not a lead. She's not an A level actor. She's more of a B/C. I know women love girlfriends, and I get that,
I did love a girlfriend. Okay.
but she she's just not that level.
Well, how did you like her in Blackish? Okay.
I
You didn't.
just don't. I'm just not feeling her. And we got history too. I met her before too. That's another thing.
He said there's
In
beef.
Atlanta, she knows what happened. I know what happened, and I'm gonna leave it at that. They didn't have. It was a little disrespectful, but anyway, you can ask my cousin or whatever. He'll tell you he was there with me.
Mhm.
But it wasn't just that. It was the fact that I felt like she's underrated. I feel like you could have put 8, 10 actors in Girlfriends and have the same result. She didn't really give me anything. Blackish, she could easily replace in that one for me. That's me.
Okay. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Let me think. I'm trying to think. An overrated actor
You can take a pass. I get the same thing every time with people.
that they
I really
pass.
don't. Both people will pass. I don't want because they act and they don't want to be working with somebody and they sit there and say,
You literally. Yeah, I'm gonna pass because I don't have time for the drama. But
oh,
everyone has that a few actors in their head they're like they're so overrated, like, for sure, for sure. But of course this is our field, so never
okay.
know. Never know who
I'm,
you'll be beside tomorrow.
so I'm gonna help you out. Who's underrated?
Underrated? Hmm. Who's that girl in Euphoria? She's actually a um
I never seen Euphoria.
oh, it's so good.
I
So
gotta watch
good.
this. Okay.
Let me go Google because I can't remember
Okay.
anybody's name today.
Is Euphoria? That's a HBO show, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's Okay.
Okay.
right. Her name is um Remove this. Okay. Um, the she's actually trans. So sorry, let me be specific. She's trans, but her name is or the person is trans, and it's Hunter Schafer. And I think they are very underrated. I think they are a great actress, like literally a great
Okay.
actress or actor, whichever, I don't know. But
Okay.
amazing. Let's talk about the talent. Amazing, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Underrated. I don't know why I haven't seen them in more.
All right. I'm gonna hold back that question. I was gonna say something. I'm gonna say it. Forget it. Is you think the reason why is because they're trans?
Oh, well, I know. I'm little old Sabine in Atlanta. I don't
Okay.
know.
I don't
I
know.
I mean, I think if that's the reason, then that's stupid because if they're good enough for the role, they're good enough for the role. I don't really think it should matter if they make sense for the role. It shouldn't matter. Um,
Okay.
but I don't know.
All right.
I would say
Can
doubt it.
I want to ask you some music questions here, artists. Okay.
Okay.
Favorite Rihanna or Beyonce?
Oh, Rihanna.
Ooh.
Beyonce is overrated.
Okay. Now you didn't hesitate with that one, but you hesitated on the other ones. I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you right there.
I mean, this is music. This
I'm
has nothing to do with me, and so let's keep it
okay.
a buck.
All right. Keep it up.
It has
Okay.
nothing to do with me. So this is just like fandom, basically. You know, let's coming from like a fan of music, a purely
Yeah.
fan of music. I'm not gonna work in that industry. Overrated.
Okay. Let's go. Erica Badu or Lauren Hill?
Which do I prefer? I
Yeah.
prefer Lauren Hill.
Oh, Erica Badu got a bigger catalog than Lauren. Lauren got classics, a couple, but
But
okay.
Erica Badu, she's just not my jive. She's never really been my jive. Plus, doesn't
Okay.
she not? Wait, which one doesn't show up to their concerts? Both of them
Lauren.
probably. Is it
Probably,
Lauren?
but no, but more I heard more Lauren stories like that than anything else.
So
Okay.
don't go to their concerts, but they're both amazing musicians. But I prefer Lauren Hill's music. But they're both
Okay.
great musicians. Yeah,
Okay. Cardi or Nicki Minaj?
Cardi.
Hmm. Very quick. Very quick. Kendrick or Drake?
Kendrick. Is that a question at this point?
I don't. I mean, some people up north, maybe in Canada, maybe they still not feeling. I don't know. I I seen him had shows and still got people coming there. I,
Okay, and that's fine. And nobody said he's not a good musician, but we're comparing.
okay. Well, let me go with this one. Lotto or Gorilla?
Glorilla.
You mind explaining?
No, because they live here and I don't have time.
Oh wow,
A
that
boy
that's
drama.
that's because they live here. You don't have to. I okay, okay. I'm gonna try to ask you a classic one here.
Hmm.
I'm not sure how. I'm not gonna ask you that. Let me not ask you that one. But let me ask you this here. No, I'm gonna go ask. I'm gonna ask you one more on the current one. Megan or Sexy Red?
Literally neither.
Do you mind explaining that? I'm I, I I got my own stuff. I can really go to town. I don't want to be whatever band, whatever. I got my own views on certain things. But Keys
Well,
playing.
yeah, I'll explain because I feel actually very strongly on this. And Sexy Red is a terrible example for the Black community and for Black women. She doesn't represent us at all. I hate the way she's pushed. I don't know how she came to be, but it's shameful, and I really don't agree with her music or anything about her her persona. And I hope it's a persona. I hope that's not real life. And that's not being judgmental. That's just seeing that the way that this type of stuff affects our youth. Not good. Um, Meg Thee Stallion, I just don't like her music anymore. I used to love her, but lately she's been. I feel like it's been like repetitive.
Hmm.
So I need her to just come out with something like better and new, um, fresh. You know what I'm saying? It's been repetitive. I don't know what's going on with that, but I know she's had a tough few years.
Okay. Back to movies, just a tad bit here. Best movie soundtrack. They may not even do this anymore. So I don't know. I used to love
No,
music.
they do. They do soundtracks.
Uh-huh.
I really like the Moana, the Moana soundtrack. Not the first one. I know they're coming out with a second one. I haven't heard that soundtrack, but I like the first Disney Moana soundtrack. It was. I really liked it. I think The Rock did a good job
Okay.
considering he doesn't really sing. I think it. I like it.
Okay. Inside Out 1 or 2.
I haven't seen either. I don't have kids yet. I mean, I'm working
All
on it,
right,
but
I'm ending it right now.
I, I haven't seen either. I'm sorry.
No, you got to see it. You got to see the first one.
I heard it was like really good and like really and it conveyed like emotions to kids like really well. And
Yep.
the thing is, I used to sub and I was playing it one day for a class, but I didn't pay attention to it. And then I found out it was actually super good. I should have paid. I was like, oh well, I was I was on my laptop. I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. Okay. Here's one for you here. What movie would you put yourself in that you would love to be the cast member of? You got to name one movie.
Mm.
No, that's a tough one.
It is so tough. Like I'm like, there's so many good ones
I
though.
got mine. I I got mine. I just gotta see myself in it. It's a comedy, but that's just
What?
me.
Which one?
Friday. I gotta have a role in that movie somehow, some way. I gotta be,
Okay.
yeah. If I was a
Don't
little kid, yeah, I gotta be in that movie.
don't take my black card, but I've never seen it.
I'm ending the interview. I'm officially ending this. You gotta be. You never seen Friday?
I was not allowed to watch it growing up.
Okay,
My
okay,
parents are from a different culture. I wasn't allowed to watch it, and then as an adult, like I just can't get past like the first like 30 minutes personally. Maybe it's just because like it's dated. It's very hard for me to like dated films. I've always just kind of been that way. So it might have just been like if I didn't see it at the time, it just was never going to like hit for me. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Yeah. So
I,
it's just a
I
culture thing.
respect
I would
that.
try to always try to explain this to people. I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I wasn't allowed to watch BT. Like, I wasn't allowed to watch MTV. Like, I'm sorry. I missed a lot of this stuff. You know,
Well, you could pull my. I grew up from the neighborhood, but one of my favorite movies is Clueless.
it's a good movie, isn't it?
That don't look like anything that I've been through, but for some reason, it come on TV, I'm watching it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's because it's
The
funny. It's a
rolling
little.
with the
It's
homies
relatable.
type thing. I mean, that was just it got me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a funny movie. It's a good one. So
Okay. I'm gonna go here
okay,
just because it's a popular topic, and I want to hear from a lady's perspective.
okay.
Diddy, what happens to him?
Under the jail.
He's guilty all the way around.
Um, he's guilty of at least a few things. Um, I can say that with some type of insider knowledge. So Um, Under the jail, you go, sir. And that's honestly just being nice. That's being nice. I don't believe in the death penalty because I'm a Christian, so
Right.
under the jail. I think you can only do so much in life to people and expect forgiveness from those people and from society. Of course, we should forgive him eventually. You know, you got to forgive everybody. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough topic. Under the jail he goes, though. I'll just leave it at that. It's really a tough topic.
I know.
But some
I
of the
know.
stuff, I mean, it's on camera. You
I
done it.
get it.
You
Yeah,
done
it's
it. And your dummy self recorded it. Stupid. You're not a good criminal. Bad criminal.
uh,
Yeah.
all right. Your last question is for me. So
Okay.
you got a question for me,
Um,
or or two? It doesn't matter. One or two.
what made you decide to start doing these interviews and these interviews on YouTube?
Okay, I'm gonna answer this one, and I want you to ask me one more because I everybody asked me the same one. So
Oh, wow.
it's no,
I'm
it's
not
cool.
original. Who
It's
said you're
cool.
not
I
original?
no 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 no. I understand that, and I kind of give a different spin on it, but it's the same. I go the same direction. So I told my dad before he passed away uh, that I would get back into football, into sports. So I created a sports podcast, which I still have, and it seemed to be pretty good. But then I also thought, I was like, wait a minute. My wife asks, I like interviewing people. I went on so many interviews with people, going to different companies. I was like, let me just put my own particular spin on it. I like to get to know people. So, what better way to do it than to actually interview people? People like to talk. I
Hmm.
like to ask questions. I love answers. People just start responding. It's like, oh, I like the fact you're doing this. Yes, I want to interview because I want to talk about my business. I want to talk about my restaurant. I want to talk about me getting into the acting field, whatever.
Hmm.
And it just seems to keep building and building. And they told me, a friend told me, you need to build off of this. You need to build off of this. You know, you don't know where it can go. Because
Hmm.
you sit there, you look at a lot of podcasts. I'm at work on the computer, listening to interviews
Hmm.
all day, every day, pretty much.
Hmm.
So that's how I got into
Okay, cool.
it. Okay.
Second question is, yeah, who's your favorite actress? Specific to your region, actually. You said you're Central Time, so.
Yeah, I'm in Nashville area.
Oh, okay. So Southeast.
Yeah.
Specific to the
Same.
Southeast, who's your favorite actress?
You know what? I like the starring. I can't think of the names right now. Queen Sugar.
I
I
know.
actually
Ooh,
like.
I like
I
her.
actually like, and I'm gonna put the two ladies and the guy on there. I can't think of the names now because I hadn't watched it in over a year. I need to
Hmm.
catch up. I love how Ava DuVernay brought those three characters together
Hmm.
to create that aesthetic that builds in your mind off each and every episode of what they're going through in Queen Sugar in their own particular lives. Currently, those are my three favorite, and I'm gonna stick to that because I think she's done a beautiful job. Even when she started with, I can't even remember the first thing that she. Well, I remember she filmed it at home. She has a certain eye for talent and being able to make the things that are so simple and put it into their character, into each character, and bring it out. And I think she's done the best job she's ever done was on Queen Sugar, and those characters portraying those roles.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is your opportunity, and I'm gonna tell you this. This has been a great interview. You answered questions very well. shout out to Macklin. Shout out to Nina. Nina shot is in Atlanta too, and she does her thing with the film work. Hopefully, one day you work with her. But you're very, I can tell you're very intelligent, but you got a kind of focused presence on the camera that I can tell that you've been really trained very well and you're really good at what you do. And
Thank
I
you.
think you should just keep doing what you do, what you're doing. Whatever you decide to do, if you decide I don't want to act no more, I want to be behind the camera and want to film, you should do that too. You got a good film presence.
Mhm. Thank you
Voice is
so much.
the voice is excellent. You're a little
Thank you.
hesitant though. I don't think you felt my Tracy Ellis Ross thing, but it's okay.
But everyone's entitled to their opinion.
And I'm drinking water.
I mean, you live your life.
I'm not gonna sit here and be getting drunk on the smoking like so many people on podcasts and stuff like that. But I will tell you this: you really talented, and
Thank you.
obviously you're growing your family, and I want to give you definitely prayers and shout outs to your
Thank you.
husband and everybody, all the
Yeah.
people connected around you. Definitely, yes, definitely, definitely. Two for two. Backlund had hers. Now I got you
Right.
knocking it out here.
Right.
All right. I do
I
got to
need to
ask you.
reach out to her.
Let
She
me ask
has
you. Are you into sports?
no.
No, not at all.
No. I'm not into sports whatsoever. The things I know are only because of the time that I spent like bartending at a few sports bars around
Okay,
Atlanta.
okay. Well, I'm gonna ask you this here, and it has something to do with sports. Who's more overpaid, actors or athletes?
Mhm.
I I know this is a tough one, but because I've had
Mhm.
many of discussions about this one.
I
I
don't
got
I don't think athletes are overpaid. In
okay,
my opinion, I think they're paid what I think we're underpaid. Actors are underpaid. Eh,
okay,
athletes make what they should make. If that's the type of money that's being bought into these games, I don't understand it. I'm not going
okay,
to pay for it personally, but if
okay.
that's the type of money that these games are bringing in, then they should get a big portion of it as they do.
Wow. Okay,
And I think the same precedent should be set for actors and performers. If that's the type of money this stuff is bringing in, then you should be paid accordingly. And it shouldn't really be according to, oh, well, this is your first big film. So it's like, well, how did the film do? Was I a fan favorite? You owe me some money,
okay.
like that.
All right.
But I think that's what we were saying, somewhat what we were saying in the last strike. Like,
Yeah.
like this is kind of disproportionate. So no, I think actors are underpaid for the most part, except for like the 1%. And athletes seem to be paid right
Okay.
on schedule with what it should be. I have no problem with it.
Cool. Cool.
Mhm.
I gotta ask you. No, this is your parting ways question, but I want to talk to you
Mhm.
about what do you have going coming up in 2025?
2025, honestly, I don't know since I'm going to be dropping this baby in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's put a big question mark on what's next because it's my first kid. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. That's
Okay.
literally how I feel. Like, I don't know what's going on. So I really don't know. I'm not sure how much time I'm gonna take off. Um, how much of an adjustment it's gonna be for me. So I'm just really going with like I love that's the saying, I'm going with the vibe. Like
That's right.
whatever happens, happens. Whatever's meant for me is meant for me. If I'm ready to get back at it in 2 months, I'll be back at it in 2 months. If I need 6 months, I'm taking 6 months because that's the kind of like the Lord has provided for me, and I'm very grateful for it.
Perfect. All right. This is your time. Shout out your people. Shout out your social media so people can follow you.
Yeah,
And I just want to tell you, thank you so much for doing this.
of course. And thank you for having me. So my social media, my Instagram is my first name dot last name, so Sabine dot Goose.
Perfect.
And that's like my handle for everything. I'm pretty sure that's my TikTok, that's my Instagram, that's my YouTube. My YouTube is just like the Sabine Goose.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so follow me on TikTok because I'm currently trying to like create something over there.
Okay.
So definitely follow me on there, Instagram if you want. You can keep up with me. Um, yeah.
Okay. Well, again, you obviously know me. Based off characters, follow me on YouTube on based on characters podcast. Check out my new posts. Check out my interviews, my past interviews. They got some good juice on them too. I want to say thank you for all the guests I had before. All my future ones are coming up. I got some writers coming up. I got some actors coming up. Hopefully, I got this Sundance thing coming up with one of the actors that's going to be out there. I want to see you in some more film festivals. I want to see all the people that I know are out there acting. They're doing things on stage, on film, working at their home, trying to write plays. Um, I just want to tell all of them to tune in this based off characters and follow this young lady. She will inspire you. She has a beautiful soul, and she getting ready to have a kid. You can't not hate that. You gotta love that. Gotta love that. But again, thank you so much, and I want to tell all the audience here, I appreciate you so much. Stay safe, stay warm because the cold weather is coming, and then also stay prayed up and basically be faithful, believe in yourself. Again, thank you so much. All right.